Hello, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Felicia Flores, and I am an ELA teacher in 8th grade. This is the Kimmons Middle School English Language Arts Team High Reliability Schools project for Level 1 certification for Indicator 1.4. I'd like to introduce you to our dynamic leadership team for Kimmons Middle School: Dr. Sean Hinkle, Principal, Mrs. Tammy Chase, Assistant Principal, and Miss Marion Kirsch, Assistant Principal. These are our English language arts teachers. We consist of a great team of teachers who put students' needs first and use data to plan for their learning on a daily basis. Mrs. Melissa Mullen is our department chair in 8th grade and an 8th grade ELA teacher. I, Dr. Felicia Flores, am also an 8th grade team teacher. Miss Shelby Grubbs and Mr. Dakota Padilla are our 7th grade ELA team, and Mrs. Tammy Matlock and Miss Miranda Bradley are our 6th grade ELA team. The leading indicator that we are reporting on is 1.4. It is teacher teams and collaborative groups regularly interact to address common issues regarding curriculum, assessment, instruction, and the achievement of all students. Here are the results of the High Reliability Schools Level 1 survey that established that the leading indicator 1.4 is an area of strength in our initiative as a PLC school. Data collected from parents, scholars, staff, and administrators reveals an overall opinion that our school fosters a collaborative learning environment. At Kimmons Middle School, both vertical and horizontal teams have been formed and implemented across all disciplines. We regularly interact to address common issues regarding curriculum, assessment, instruction, and the achievement of all students in their academic endeavors. This is our High Reliability School Survey report, and I'd like to explain some of the descriptive measures that were listed for the stakeholders groups. For each stakeholder group, they have a few definitions of descriptive measures. Utilizing Marzano's 8 leading indicators for Level 1 of the High Reliability Schools framework, the interpretation of these sections were defined as leading and lagging indicators. We then discussed as a team whether we knew if our school has achieved Level 1 of the framework in regards to leading indicator 1.4. So we have on our survey response option, we have strongly agree, disagree, neither agree or disagree, agree, and strongly agree, and the values run from 1 to 5 being the option. The mean represents the average response to a specific survey item or group of items. For all core survey items, respondents were asked to rate their agreement on a 5-point scale from strongly disagree to strongly agree. To calculate the mean response, responses were translated to a numerical 5-point scale. Standard deviation. The standard deviation indicated the extent of deviation in responses for a group as a whole, measured in the same units as the mean or the average. A small standard deviation indicates that the majority of responses were closer to the mean, while a larger standard deviation indicated that the majority of responses are farther from the mean. The mode indicated the most frequently selected response, and N equals the number of respondents or the N count, which may vary across survey items, as respondents were not required to answer all items. Our explanation of the performance indicator 1.4 is as follows. Based on our initial long-form survey data, leading indicator 1.4 is an overall strength for Kimmons Middle School. According to the data, areas of strength were determined based on both staff and student data gathered through the survey. Our collaborative teams have been formed and implemented in all disciplines. The members meet regularly in order to better assist all scholars in their academic endeavor. We've identified 3 key areas for determining the indicator 1.4 as a strength. Our school's PLC collaborative teams have written goals. Number 2, our school's PLC collaborative teams create common assessments. Number 3, teachers at my schools meet together on a regular basis. Under each strength, we've included several artifacts, which will be explained with data in the following slides, as well as visual examples. The administration team recognizes that our departments are continuing to create new opportunities for our scholars through analyzing data and meeting on a regular basis. Artifact number 1, descriptive statistics. When we determine our strengths and weaknesses, we reviewed our high reliability school survey data and descriptive statistics for 1.4. We looked at our written goals of PLC as a strength. The data showed that 83.7% of all school staff and administrators determined that we have written goals. Although this was a strength for us, we've been fortunate enough to continue receiving ongoing support in this area from our administration. The written goals of our PLC teams is very apparent in Artifact 1 as a strength. We have agenda norms and collective commitments, which we review at each meeting. According to the high reliability school survey data and the descriptive statistics, all the administrators agree that our PLC collaborative teams create common assessments. Further examples for Artifact 2 shows our PLC collaborative teams creating common assessments and using a common data protocol sheet. Our common assessments are based on teams of teachers by grade level and are shared on a common Google Sheet so we all have access to look at the data and discuss. Artifact number 3, which addresses teams interacting to address common issues regarding curriculum, assessment, and instructions, as well as the achievement of students, is a strength. According to the statistical data from the High Reliability School Survey data, students, staff, parents, teachers, and administrators agreed that this was a strength. This artifact is a team agenda which reflects our teachers meeting on a regular basis and having meaningful PLC conversations. We have topics, who, the established time, what we did, and the next steps that would happen at the next meeting. We have 2 areas which are noted as lagging indicators. School leaders collect and review minutes and notes from PLC collaborative team and data meetings to ensure the teams are focusing on student achievement. The second one will be teams of teachers at my school look at student achievement data to figure out how to improve students' learning. Lagging indicator artifact visual example number 1. A visual artifact for indicators 1 is a PLC collaborative team agenda that is used across all of our teams. This is still an area that is continuing to be worked on in various forms. Our teams are in different areas of the process, but are all following the same agenda. Here's the action plan for lagging indicator number 1. This action plan for improvement is submitted along with data that indicates improvement and attainment of lagging indicator criterion scores for leading indicator 1.4. Lagging indicator number 1 says that school leaders collect and review minutes and notes from PLC collaborative team and data team meetings to ensure that the teams are focusing on student achievement. Our action plan is as follows. Currently, school leaders are collecting and reviewing minutes without notes, which should be transparent to all team members within the school setting. Various teams are at different levels of training, as well as focusing on learning how to document student achievement. The school leadership team needs to create a document which ensures that all teachers are focusing on student achievement and post their results with feedback. Lagging indicator artifact visual example number 2. Teams of teachers at my child's school look at student achievement data to figure out how to improve students' learning. Here's an example This visual artifact is an example of a piece of data wall from a teacher who analyzes her data at each meeting on her CFAs to discuss with her team member. Lagging indicator number 2. Teams of teachers at my child's school look at student achievement data to figure out how to improve students' learning. Our action plan for lagging indicator number 2 is that our teachers are receiving training from Solution Tree Services with Associate Carrie Greener. The associate is training staff members on using assessment and data protocol in the PLC process. In utilizing the teacher and learning cycle, educators are able to use common and formative assessment to drive their instruction in the classroom. Task 1.4E is we have examples of 3 PLC teams in action. This video was recorded by Melissa Mullen, 8th grade department chair, for you to peruse at your leisure. This will be 3 separate teams and examples of how they are interacting with each other in the PLC process. This concludes our slideshow and explanation of leading and lagging indicators for 1.4. We hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you.